The Denon Prime 4 garnered a lot of attention with its release, as it was the first 4-channel standalone controller on the market. The Pioneer DJ DDJ-1000SRT also caused a big stir by providing a club standard-like experience in a controller for one of the most popular DJ software. Both controllers share similarities, but also have certain features that help separate them from one another. Now the question that many DJs now have is, which one of these great high-end controllers is right for me? And that really depends on the kind of DJ you are, the kind of gigs you're playing, and also what you're looking to get out of purchasing one of these controllers. So in this video, we'll compare each of these controllers by going over their similarities, their differences, and what kind of DJ we think each is more suited for to help you decide which one might be right for you. So if you're in the market for a new controller and are interested in more reviews and comparisons just like this one, make sure you subscribe to this channel. But now let's get into the comparison of the Denon Prime 4 and the Pioneer DJ DDJ-1000SRT. So what do they have in common? Well, let's start with the build quality. Upon handling each of these controllers, it's easy to feel the professional level build quality that both of these controllers share. Although the Pioneer DJ DDJ-1000SRT may have more plastic parts, even the industry standard CDJ-2000 Nexus 2 is mostly plastic and still built to last. If you're looking for something that feels a bit more substantial, maybe the build of the Prime 4 may be more your style. Moving right along, we have the fact that both the Prime 4 and DDJ-1000SRT are 4-channel controllers that follow the industry standard club mixer layout. They each have dual-layer JOGWHEEL control that gives you the ability to play all 4 decks at the same time. If you only play with 2 decks, the other 2 decks allow for auxiliary inputs such as plugging in a tablet or a smartphone. And speaking of the decks, both the Prime 4 and DDJ-1000SRT both have displays located on the JOGWHEEL that are able to display useful information about the tracks that are playing. In the case of the Prime 4, you're able to view album artwork or custom artwork, as well as the length of activated loop. The JOGWHEEL display on the DDJ-1000SRT mirrors the decks in Serato DJ Pro, and you're able to see information such as time elapsed, time remaining, as well as the current BPM of each track. The JOGWHEEL display on the Prime 4 is definitely more visually pleasing with its ability to show album artwork or custom artwork, while the DDJ-1000SRT displays more pertinent information while mixing. And if you enjoy mixing sources outside of your DJ software, both of these controllers can be used solely as a standalone mixer. For DJs that may already have turntables or media players, these can be connected to either of these controllers. So for example, if you enjoy mixing actual vinyl records, there's no need to break out a separate DJ mixer, as these sources can be plugged directly into either of these 2 controllers. Another great feature that both these controllers share is, just like most higher-end club-style mixers, both the Prime 4 and DDJ-1000 have onboard hardware effects. What's great about both controllers is that the onboard effects can also be used with external sources like the turntables or media players that I just described. And with either of these mixers, many DJs won't have the want or need for a 4-channel club-style mixer with effects if they already have the Prime 4 or DDJ-1000SRT. Now, while the DDJ-1000SRT comes with Serato DJ Pro support out of the box, it's already been announced that the Denon Prime 4 will eventually get Serato DJ support as well down the line. Now, Serato DJ Pro is a great piece of software, and it's very likely that the Prime 4 support of that software will be just as good as what's found on the DDJ-1000SRT. So now let's move on to how these 2 pieces of hardware are different. Now the biggest difference between the Prime 4 and the DDJ-1000SRT has to be the need for a computer. The Prime 4 is a completely standalone unit that does not need a computer to access your music files, while the DDJ-1000SRT is a standard DJ controller that requires a computer to function. Although the Prime 4 does not require a computer to play your digital files, it does come at an increased cost compared to the DDJ-1000SRT. Besides the increased cost of a Prime 4, it comes with added weight as well. Now for mobile DJs who are already setting up a lot of gear, such as a PA system along with their controller, this added weight might not mean much, but for DJs who are playing a small pub or a lounge and all they're carrying is a controller, the lighter weight of the DDJ-1000SRT might be more desirable. One of the standout features of the DDJ-1000SRT is the fact that it does not use the capacitive JOGWHEELs found on most DJ controllers. Unlike the capacitive JOGWHEELs found on the Prime 4, the DDJ-1000SRT uses mechanical JOGWHEELs like the ones found on the much more expensive CDJ-2000 Nexus 2. Just because the mechanical JOGWHEELs are found on much more expensive gear does not necessarily make them better, it's more a difference of taste. Now if you're accustomed to capacitive JOGWHEELs, mechanical JOGWHEELs may feel a little strange compared to what you're used to. Another big difference between these 2 is the way that they're laid out. When looking at the DDJ-1000SRT, it's clear that it was designed to mimic the CDJ and Pioneer mixer layout that's been the club standard for over a decade. The Prime 4, on the other hand, follows a more classic DJ controller layout, which features effects controls above each of the decks. Now, if your goal as a DJ is to make it to the festival circuit, where CDJs and Pioneer mixers are the standard, it makes sense to pursue the DDJ-1000SRT. The more club-style layout of the DDJ-1000SRT is the perfect way to train for the jump to the Pioneer DJ Club standard. On the other hand, if you have no interest in making the switch to a club mixer and CDJ setup in the future, your controller having a club style layout may not matter at all. The familiarity of a controller style layout that could be found on the Prime 4 could be a bigger factor. If you're already used to DJ hardware having this kind of layout, then the jump to a Prime 4 will feel more natural. Also, since the layout of the Prime 4 does not need to follow that club standard layout, it can have things like more robust mic channels and controls, as well as more innovative features like separate zone outputs, which could be so useful for mobile DJs. Even though the Prime 4 is marketed as a standalone controller, it still requires Denon's own Engine Prime software to organize your music. Much like Pioneer DJ's Rekordbox software, Engine Prime is used not to play your files, but instead used to organize your files and playlists onto USB flash drives to be played on the Prime 4. Engine Prime is one of the newer DJ softwares and still feels like it needs some development when compared to other more mature digital DJ software on the market. On the other hand, the DDJ-1000SRT is a Serato DJ Pro controller, similar to the kind of controllers that have been on the market for years. It requires a computer not only to organize your digital files, but to play your music as well. You may need to use a computer to use the DDJ-1000SRT instead of just having to use USB flash drives, but Serato DJ Pro is a much more fully featured software at the moment when compared to Engine Prime. After comparing the similarities and differences between these two controllers, one thing is clear. Both the Denon Prime 4 and the Pioneer DJ DDJ-1000SRT are great pieces of pro-level hardware. The differences are in the details when it comes to these two controllers. The Prime 4 may be more expensive, but it also provides more flexibility with its inputs and outputs. The separate controls for the mic channels and the zone output are features that wouldn't be possible if it followed that club standard layout. The weakness of the Prime 4 at the moment is the need to use its Engine Prime software. When put head-to-head against Serato DJ Pro for music management, it just feels underdeveloped. It's still perfectly usable, but there's definitely room to improve. The most glaring example of this is the lack of any type of auto-updating smart playlist. Now, this is a feature that many DJs, myself included, rely on and is just plain missing out of Engine Prime. When Pioneer introduced the original DDJ-1000, the Serato community was clamoring for a Serato DJ Pro version of the controller, and for good reason. The DDJ-1000SRT is a great blend of size, weight, and features while still maintaining that club-style layout. Now, if you're the kind of DJ that gigs regularly on a CDJ and Pioneer mixer setup, or if you aspire to gig on that kind of setup regularly, the DDJ-1000SRT makes a great at-home version of the setup at a fraction of the cost. While both of these high-end controllers make great choices, I really do believe it comes down to where you see yourself developing as a DJ. If you are a mobile DJ and the thought of club DJing is the last thing to enter your mind, the Prime 4 is probably a better choice for you. The fact that it can be used completely standalone, which means no fear of a computer crashing in the middle of your set, while still having a beautiful and useful display, makes such a compelling purchase. If your goal is to headline a huge music festival using what has now been considered the industry standard DJ setup for roughly the last decade, the DDJ-1000SRT is better suited for you. Its combination of mechanical jog wheels and the club standard mixer section make it the perfect tool to help build your muscle memory that can translate to the kind of setup that you would see on the festival stage. Before making the decision between these two fantastic pieces of gear and which one you'd like to purchase, really think about your goals as a DJ. I truly believe they favor two different styles of DJing, one more mobile and one more club. And once you've got that figured out, the choice between the two and which one would be better suited for you becomes much more clear. Now, we'd like to know which one of these two controllers are you more interested in and why. Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. And if you're interested in more reviews and comparisons just like this one, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Now, get good, get out there, and make the moments.